Welcome back into Sports Drive once again. I'm your host, Preston Moore. I mentioned we're going to talk a little bit of Sod Poodles baseball. Joining me now is the manager of the Sod Poodles, Shawn. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, you guys just finished up your first home series, split it with the Corpus Christi Hooks, 3-3. It was an exciting time to be at Hodgetown. I know I speak for pretty much everybody in the community when we say that we're very glad that Sod Poodles season is officially back. What was it like, you know, to get that first home series under your belt back out at Hodgetown?
Yeah, it was definitely exciting to be back in Hodgetown to play in front of our Sod Poodle fans. They're the best in all of baseball, and it's just nice to finally get the opening ceremonies out of the way, just play some baseball, and now it just seems like the season is going to start to roll.
Yeah, and you know, you guys had I was there for most of the games, including Saturday's game where you guys played as the Amarillo Calf Fries. Obviously, I think the whole community has really rallied around that alternate name. It's been a lot of fun. We actually tried some calf fries straight from the ballpark on our show that night. They were pretty delicious. I liked them. Our main anchor didn't like them as much. But that being said, I felt it had to be a Panhandle rite of passage for them to try them. What was it like that day or that night at that game? You know, obviously a lot of people were out there at Hodgetown. I don't know what the attendance was specifically, but I know that it was certainly one of the more packed games that I've seen out there. Obviously, the energy was really exciting, being that it was the Calf Fries for the very first time. What was that game like?
Yeah, it was cool to finally don the Calf Fry jersey. It was a pretty cool name they came up with, and that's what makes minor league baseball great. The different promotions they do and the different monikers that they use. So to come out as a Calf Fries, especially what they stand for. I didn't have any. I didn't try any. I know some of the guys did, and they said they're actually pretty good. So maybe sometime by the end of the summer I'll try one. But no, it was really cool to have a packed crowd that night. I think there was fireworks as well. And anytime you can have a little fun and kind of get away from the monotony of baseball and try something different with the new jerseys, the new name, it always makes it fun.
It was a lot of fun, and I liked the Calf Fries. You know, I hadn't had Calf Fries. I remember I had Tony Ensor on the show a couple months ago, and I told him, you know, the story of whenever I was tricked by my grandpa on my 14th birthday into eating Calf Fries. He told me they were chicken, and then he told me what they really were after I had already eaten about a whole bowl of them. Haven't eaten them since, but I enjoyed them at the ballpark, and I enjoyed them more than I thought I would. You guys have been playing pretty well. In particular, Ryan Bliss has had a phenomenal start to the season. He's batting .421. What can you say about his performance so far to start the season?
Yeah, Ryan has had a great start to the season. He's done really well. I think the best thing about him is he's been aggressive with balls in the zone. He's had a really good approach, and he's had some balls fall, but he's really been a really big spark plug for us at the top of the lineup. It seems like whenever he goes, we go. And it's really been a fun start to watch him. I know he played in Hillsboro, the level below us last year. I didn't know a ton about him, watch some of his swings and things like that. But anytime you can get off to a great start, I know it makes the rest of the season a lot easier to go with.
What other players other than Ryan? Obviously, we mentioned he's had a really great start to the season. 16 hits, 6 runs, .421 batting average. But what other players on the team have you been impressed by in particular over the course of these first few games?
Yeah, offensively, guys like Caleb Roberts, left-handed hitting first baseman, outfield catcher. He's had a really good start to the season. He's had a couple home runs. Who else? Jordan Lawler's had a great start to the season. Our shortstop, one of the top Diamondbacks prospects in all of baseball, has done a really good job. Had a couple home runs this series, and he's played some really good shortstop for us. And then pitching wise, our bullpen's been really good. Our starting pitcher's done great. Bryce Jarvis had a really good outing on I think it was Thursday night. And to see these guys come out and throw the ball well and give us a chance to win, that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you guys you're gearing up right now to travel down to Northwest Arkansas. That series starts tomorrow at 7:05 and will stretch until Sunday the 23rd. What kind of are you expecting from them? Obviously, you guys had a bit of you've played away games already. You had 3 games in Frisco, but now heading over to Northwest Arkansas. What are you expecting from this series?
Yeah, they're always a very talented team. I know they do a lot of little things well. They bunt a lot, they run, they steal bases. So they're going to put a lot of pressure on us. So we have to be ready defensively. And then they can always pitch. They have really good starting pitchers, really good bullpen, a lot of left-handed pitchers on the mound. So it's always a good test to go up against these guys and kind of see where you stack up.
Yeah, and when you're looking at a series like this, this being, your first full series on the road, 6 games, what sort of do you prepare the guys for? What do you say, as a manager, what do you say to prepare them going into this series? Obviously, the season's still young, just getting started.
Yeah, obviously you take a look at some of the things that they don't do as well, and you try to hammer that against those guys. But the biggest thing for us is we got to come out and play our baseball. If we're aggressive on the bases, we're aggressive at the plate, and we attack the zone, good things happen. So the biggest thing for us is obviously we want to exploit some of their weaknesses, but we want to exploit we want to keep up with our strengths. If we can do what we do best, which is pitch, play defense, and run and play the game hard. Good things happen. So the biggest thing is not to change what you do based on the opponent. Be the best version of yourself, and we'll see where the chips fall at the end of the series.
Absolutely. Well, thank you once again for joining. We're looking forward to that series against Northwest Arkansas. Obviously had just a great time in the home opening series against Corpus Christi this past week. But thank you once again for joining, Shawn Roof. We really appreciate you coming on, and we're excited for the Sod Poodles season.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Sorry if my video was a little wobbly with being in the car, but thanks for having me. And I think it's going to be a great season. As you can tell, we have a lot of guys to fall in love with the style of play, and it's going to be a fun summer.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to the next time that we can have you on the show. Thanks again for joining. We'll be right back with more Sports Drive right after break. Stick around.